Welcome back for our second deck introduction for the Year of the Mammoth, featuring an overview of Quest Rogue. It seems that in each new expansion, there's a deck that surfaces quickly, which capitalizes on a super proactive game plan and prey upon reactive and untuned decks. In the new Hearthstone meta, the deck that best fits this description is Quest Rogue, which literally showed its strength within an hour of the release of Journey to Ungoro, when professional player Dog piloted it into top 10 legend. Since then, Quest Rogue players developed a variety of lists that has withstood the meta's attempts to adjust to its overwhelming game plan. As the deck title would suggest, the goal of Quest Rogue is to complete the quest and overwhelm your opponent with low-cost 5/5 minions. First, there seems to be little to no situation in the current meta where you don't develop Caverns Below on turn 1. When mulliganing, you should keep the quest and then look for an ideal curve that looks like a roadmap to quest completion. Firefly, Swashbuckler, and Novice Engineer are ideal minions to have in your starting hand. Your deck is filled with one-cost minions, so in order to play the cheap stuff without emptying your hand completely, it helps to develop the quest with these cards, which add flame elementals, class cards, and additional cards from cycle into your hand. Second, there are so many routes to fulfilling the quest requirement, which is to play 4 minions of the same name. But the specific road a player takes can often dictate how quickly they can close out the game. Look for the up-tempo, reliable game plan. Finally, with the Crystal Core, each 1 mana token becomes a 5/5, which can add up to incredible amounts of damage very quickly. Keep a close eye on the many different ways you can find lethal using hand return mechanics like Shadow Step, Youthful Brewmaster, and Gadgets and Ferryman. One of the reasons this deck is so strong is that these mechanics can be as useful after you complete the quest as they were leading up to finishing it. There are all sorts of important tricks when piloting Quest Rogue. As with any deck that's proactive, by mastering the subtleties of an archetype, a player's results go from average to great with a top tier deck on the ladder. The stage of the game that offers the most complexities for Quest Rogue is how players decide to complete the quest itself. Here are a few general guidelines which can help you develop a plan to complete the quest each game. One is to try and save charge minions like South Sea Deckhand, Stone Tusk Boar, and Patches for after the quest, since they offer substantial burst damage and can also provide ways to capitalize on hand return mechanics even after you've completed the quest. 2. If there's a minion that's more likely to complete the quest than another, then prioritize keeping that minion in your hand at the end of each turn. For instance, don't leave your 3rd Swashbuckler on the board if there's no backup plan for completing the quest if the Swashbuckler dies. Simply delay playing that minion until you can reliably protect it. 3. Realize that when you play the quest, any minions left on the board from previous turns will transform into active 5/5s. The tempo of keeping 1 additional minion alive on the journey to complete the quest can make all the difference in a game. Sometimes completing a turn later with a decent board can be more important than rushing the quest out on the first turn it's available. There have been a variety of successful Quest Rogue lists popularized over the course of the last 2 weeks. The main differences is how many charge minions, especially Stone Tusk Boar, you want in your list, and then how many reactive cards like Vanish are in your deck. If you're seeing more taunt-heavy reactive decks, cards like Vanish can help to set up a win condition. But if you're in a race to lethal against Pyro Warriors and aggressive hunters, then having more 5/5s with charge to close out the game can be stronger. As you pilot and improve with the deck on the ladder, keep a close eye on what types of decks you're coming up against, and whether or not your list could benefit from some swaps that could better address the meta you're seeing. Ultimately, because this deck is so proactive, working on your own capacity to play it effectively will be the biggest decider in your success. We hope you enjoyed this overview, and don't forget to leave us a like and to subscribe to our channel to stay up to speed with all of Tempo Storm's news and Hearthstone content.